Chapter 8 of 2 Years in the Forbidden City. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by J.C. Guan. 2 Years in the Forbidden City by Princess De-Ling. Chapter 8. The Court Ladies. We retired from her room, but I noticed that 2 of the Court Ladies did not come out with us. One of them said to me, "I am glad that I can rest a bit today, for I have been sitting 3 afternoons in succession." At first I did not know what she meant. Then she said, "Oh, your turn has not come yet. We don't know whether you received the order or not. You know 2 of us must stay with Her Majesty during her afternoon siesta to watch the eunuchs and the servant girls." I thought that was the funniest thing I had ever heard of, and wondered how many people would be in her room. The young Empress said, "We had better go at once and rest ourselves, otherwise Her Majesty will be up again before we get the chance." Of course I had not the least idea how long she slept, so we went back to our rooms. I did not realize how tired I was until I sat down in my room. I felt finished and awfully sleepy at the same time, for I was not used to getting up at 5 o'clock. Everything was so new to me. As I sat there my thoughts wandered to Paris, and I thought how strange it was that I used to go to bed at 5 o'clock after the dances, and here I had to get up at such a time. All the surroundings seemed new to me, seeing the eunuchs running here and there waiting on us, as if they were chambermaids. I told them that I didn't need them any more. I wanted them to go out of the room so that I could lie down a bit. They brought us tea and different kinds of candies, and asked what else we wanted. I was just going to change into a comfortable dress when the eunuch came in and informed me that 有客来了, visitors have come, and 2 Court ladies came, and another girl of about 17 came in. I had seen her that very morning when I came to the palace, busy working, but I was not introduced to her. These 2 girls said, "We have come to see you and also to find out if you are comfortable." I thought they were kind to come and see me that way, but I did not like their faces. They introduced this mean-looking girl to me, and told me her name was Chan Shou, graceful long life. She did not look as if her life would last long, being so thin and delicate. She looked sick and worn out to me. I did not know who she was. She curtsied to me, and I returned to her, in a sort of half-way. I will explain about the courtesy. To Her Majesty, the Emperor and the young Empress, we went down and bent our knees, while we stood upright to the people of lower rank than ourselves. In this case, one must always wait while the inferior courtesies first, and bend the knees a little bit in return. This was the way I returned Chan Shou's courtesy to me. The 2 girls then said, "Chan Shou's father is only a small official, so she has not much standing at the court. She is not exactly a court lady, but she is not a servant girl either." I almost laughed right out to hear such a funny statement, and wondered what she must be. I saw her sitting down with the court ladies that very morning, so of course I asked her to sit down too. These 2 court ladies asked me if I felt tired, and how I liked the Empress Dowager. I told them that Her Majesty was the most lovely lady I had ever seen, and that I already loved her very much, although I had only been there a few days. They looked at Chan Shou and exchanged smiles. They did that in such a peculiar way that it annoyed me. They asked, "Do you think you would like to live in this place, and how long do you intend to stay?" I said I would love to stay long, and would do my best to wait on Her Majesty and be useful to her, for she had been so kind towards us in the short time we had been there, and besides it was my duty to serve my sovereign and country. They laughed and said, "We pity you, and are sorry for you. You must not expect any appreciation here, no matter how hard you work. If you are really going to do as you have said just now, you will be disliked by everybody." I did not know what they were talking about, or what their conversation referred to. I thought this was so strange that I had better put a stop to it, so I immediately changed the subject. I asked them who dressed their hair and who made their shoes for them, as they had asked mine. They answered my questions by saying that their maids did everything for them. Chun Shou said to these two girls, "Tell her everything about this Palace, and I am sure she will change her mind when she actually sees things for herself." I didn't like this Chun Shou, and her face didn't impress me. She was a little bit of a thing, tiny head with thin lips. When she laughed one could only hear the noise she made. No expression was on her face at all. I was just going to say something to them, so as not to give them the opportunity of gossiping, but found they were too cunning. They noticed that I tried every way to stop them, so they said, "Now let us tell you everything. No one else will know. We like you very much, and we want to give you some warning, so as to be able to protect yourself whenever you are in trouble." I told them that I would take great care to do my work and didn't think that I would ever get into trouble. They laughed and said, "That makes no difference. Her Majesty will find fault." I could not believe these things that they said, and intended to tell them that I refused to hear such statements, but I thought I had better listen to what they had to say first, and not to offend them, for I never believed in making enemies. I then told them that it would be impossible for so sweet and kind-hearted a person like Lao Tzu Tsung, the old ancestor, to find fault with such helpless girls as we were, for we were her people, and she could do anything she liked with us. They said, "You don't know, and have no idea how wicked this place is. Such torture and suffering one could not imagine. We are sure that you think you must be happy to be with the great Empress Dowager, and proud to be her court lady. Your day hasn't come yet, for you all are new to her. Yet she is extremely kind to you just now. But wait until she gets tired of you, and then see what she will do. We have had enough, and know what the court life is. Of course, you must have heard that Li Lien, the head eunuch, rules this palace behind Lao Tzu Tsung's back. We are all afraid of him. He pretends that he cannot influence Lao Tzu Tsung, but we always know the result after a long conversation consulting how to punish anyone. If any of us do anything wrong, we always go to him and beg him to help us out. Then he says he has no power to influence Her Majesty, and also that he dare not tell her much, for she would scold him. We hate all the eunuchs. They are such bad people. We can see very plainly they are awfully polite to you, because they can see that you are in favor. To receive such rudeness from them constantly, as we do, is unbearable. Lao Tzu Tsung is very changeable. She may like one person today. Tomorrow she hates this same person worse than poison. She has moods, and has no appreciation whatsoever. Even Zhuzi, the young empress, Zhuzi means mistress, that is to say, she was mistress of us all, for the Manchus were considered by the sovereign as slaves, is afraid of Li Lien, and has to be very nice to him. In fact, we all have to be polite to him. They talked so long that I thought they would never finish. About this time Wang came in and brought tea for us. Suddenly I heard people howling in the distance, so I asked Wang what was the matter. The girls were listening also, and the eunuch came flying in and told us Lao Fo ye qi le, the great Buddha wakes up. The girls got up and said we must all go to see her, so they went. I was not at all pleased with their visit, and wished they hadn't come, especially as they told me such horrible things. It made me quite sad to listen to the awful way they talked about Her Majesty. I loved her the first day I was there, and made up my mind to forget everything they had told me. I was cross also because I didn't have time to change my clothes, and had to go up to Her Majesty at once. I went into her bedroom and found her sitting upon the bed cross-legged, with a small table placed on the bed in front of her. She smiled and asked, "Have you had a good rest? Did you sleep at all?"